So Chris, we're at Black Hat 2022, Las Vegas, and in front of me is the Phosphorus Mobile xIoT Security Lab. What is this thing?
We wanted to actually show what we do and how we do it to all these things.
Yeah.
And all these things are little computers, and they're really important.
Yeah, what I love about this is on one board you can see traditional enterprise IoT cameras, printers, voice over IP phones. We've got some OT SCADA equipment here, and then we even have some network devices, kind of the three big categories that make up xIoT.
Yeah, there's not a lot of in-depth knowledge in the broader cybersecurity industry as we cross over to operational technologies. And there have really been different people who have worked on these different things. But the commonality they have is they are all on the network. They're all on the same network. They all have the same vulnerabilities, and they need to be managed and treated that way. And we just decided to solve that problem. And the first way to solve it is you gotta get your hands on this stuff.
Here we've got some real-time operating systems. We probably have some Linux, some Android, BusyBox, maybe VxWorks. At the end of the day, they're just as powerful and capable as a traditional desktop or server that you have in your IT environment. They're just not secure. They're full of vulnerabilities, old firmware, default passwords, and if they're not default, chances are they're probably pretty bad.
One way to evaluate the brains of these devices is how they communicate. Now, you can see they're networked, but the brainstem, if you will, is usually the serial port, or a USB port if you're too young to know what a serial port is. So this is a DB9 serial port, and it's got a maximum speed of 115 kilobits per second. That means roughly that you're not going to want to have firmware on these things that's more than about 10 megabytes. But compare that to a USB-C port today, you can have firmware that's gigabytes, and the size does matter in this case because that's the number of vulnerabilities that will be in that code.
Yeah.
The more lines of code, the more vulnerabilities, period.
They really, really need to have a scalable, automated, and safe way to make sure that these devices are just secure as these devices, and those are just secure as my IT assets. And we have to stop thinking, they can't be managed because they're old, or they can't be managed because they're sensitive. We're here to say they absolutely can be, and they are being managed, and we're making sure that they can be as secure as possible. We're finally now saying, hey, we can do remediation in OT. We don't have to just close our eyes, cover our ears, and hope nothing happens.